What's going on, my broskies? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. Today, we've got another video up against the Super Boss Kizuna, and these are just kind of like miniature upgrades from the teams that I showed initially in my first breakdown video. So this team that you're seeing here versus the Super Quick Boss, this is a bit of an obscure one, and I must say that if you do test this team with an alliance boost where you have additional stats throughout the run, I actually don't think this team will work due to the fact that we are doing a little bit of stall on these turtles, and I mentioned it briefly in my Super Boss video initially, but the fact that the turtles on stage 1 of these Super Bosses only have 4 health makes it really difficult to use characters that don't get cooldown, as stalling is going to be difficult, and specifically for Enmazor or just characters that need their versus effect like Yamato in this team example, it's very difficult to charge, and if you have the additional stats from the alliance bonus, you're likely going to kill the turtles before you actually get enough Wano slots consumed in this team composition to get your Enmazor captain and the versus effect of Yamato to be ready by the time you reach battle 3. So of course we're using the friend captain of Koala and Robin because they just deal with everything, and you really just have to use them, I feel, because they work so well with dealing with the gimmicks on battle 2. And essentially if you just try and go other different routes to get through it, it makes the team less viable. If you stall the turn on battle 2, you just get given way too many debuffs and it's just not worth running. So, you know, Koala and Robin, you just kind of have to use them, unfortunately. At least right now, a lot of people are just opting to use them. It feels like the right thing to do. And then on the boss stage, of course, we've got Sanji with his gimmicks. We are using the super tandem of versus Yamato because my one is rainbowed out. Of course, if you got like Legend Nami, for example, I know some people were still opting to try that, even though you can't really use like the effect to inflict paralysis or anything like that, but I know that a lot of people were still opting to use Nami just because her super tandem is just insanely busted. But of course it is a bit of a shame that you can't get the conditional boost of Nami or the conditional boost of Robin to really get the most out of this particular quest anyways. Of course we've got Rayleigh Gaban because they deal with a lot of the other gimmicks that occur here on stage 3. And, you know, this team actually does okay damage, and I think it equated to 16 billion damage when I was able to hit with all 6 characters on a future run of this team. So 16 billion is pretty good, but as I said, I don't know how this team would fare with alliance boosts for stalling on that turtle on stage 1. The Super Boss versus Sai team, this one here, it was actually not created by myself. This was created by a Japanese player known as Snafkin, very well-known Japanese player. And, you know, a lot of people were just trying to figure out, like how we're going to get around the stupid paralysis or the random gimmicks that occur in Battle 2, whilst also using the int-driven Beast Pirate squad. And finally, we have found out a way to do it. Shout out to Snafkin for figuring it out. So what we actually do is we actually stall a turn on the final boss stage, which is not normally something you would want to do on a super boss, but due to the gimmicks that are actually inflicted to us, we're able to do it, which is dope. The only thing is there is a slight amount of RNG, and what I mean by that is that when you reach the boss stage and you stall a turn, you actually have to stall and get rid of those super block slots that you're inflicted with due to battle 2. And what happens is you're actually inflicted with Special Bind on the second turn of the final battle. And what happens is you have to use your Alba to remove the Special Bind. However, if Alba somehow gets a Wano slot, when you use his special ability, all of your crewmates are going to have Wano slots, and it just means you can't activate Super Tandem. So yeah, your damage will be reduced pretty significantly if Alba lands on a Wano slot. However, if like Big Mom or Queen, for example, actually land on a Tandem slot, then it won't matter. But there is a slight amount of RNG. If you get the unlucky side of things, you won't be able to activate the Super Tandem, which even if you can't activate the Super Tandem, this team is still going to do crazy amounts of damage. But with the Super Tandem, you're on for some good stuff there. And of course, if you have a friend captain, or like if you've got Alba, Jack, or Queen with max super tandem, you really don't need Big Mom. You could replace Big Mom for something else, but due to the fact that I don't really have rainbowed of any of those characters, my Big Mom is rainbowed. Her super tandem is slightly higher than the other characters that I have right now. Though I will say my Jack is actually one away from being rainbowed, which will make things a little bit more interesting as we move forward with future Sai super bosses. And of course, the Kaido team just works so well. The amount of damage you get is crazy. So that is going to wrap it up from me. Of course, if we find any other interesting things that I'm able to build for you guys, I'll definitely report to you in a future video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.
カイドウさんこそ海賊王になる男。覚悟しな。俺はここがワノ国だから居座ってんだよ。